Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Knack on PS4. And yes, this is my first review for the PlayStation 4, first video game review, and I am excited to talk about this one because Knack, when it was announced back in February at the PS4 conference, it was the first game they showed on PS4, and when they showed it, I was like, you know what, graphically it looks really good. I really like how it looks kind of like a Pixar movie, how good the animation is. The graphics themselves are just beautiful. The gameplay itself looked routine but fun, so I was actually looking forward to this, and it was supposed to be a really big exclusive. This and of course Killzone were the two big ones to get when the PS4 came out. So I was looking forward to playing this. Hey, it could be good. It could be a new platformer / action game classic. So what did I think of Knack? Well, let's talk about the story. The story for Knack is silly and definitely for kids. It's very simple. The story here follows Knack, who is about 1 to 2 foot tall little guy made out of all these relics, which the scientists found and somehow created Knack out of. By the way, Knack is a fully conscious, pretty much human being, except he doesn't really look like it. He talks, he says funny things, he's made out of objects. I don't know how, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, the story here, of course, follows the scientist and a bunch of other people, including this douchebag guy that runs a big corporation who enlists the help of Knack to go and stop some goblin horde, like some green goblin horde that's going around and wrecking stuff, destroying castles and stuff. I don't know, whatever. And Knack has to go and pretty much stop them. And of course, there's a bunch of twists and turns that are very obvious. And yeah, so that's really the story. It's a very simple story for the most part. There's some funny dialogue here and there. Knack has some, good moments. You actually start to like him, especially when he's like a little 1 foot little, pretty much kid. He's a cute little guy. I don't know. I liked him. He's cool. I like him. But that's a great review. He's cool. I like him. But no, the story here is definitely very simple. Definitely for kids. Nothing extraordinary, but fun enough for the most part. Now, the sound for Knack is very well done because you have a very good cast of voice actors here. Even though some of the dialogue isn't that great, some of it's actually kind of cheesy, the voice actors do a good job of portraying each character. I really like the soundtrack here. It's very cartoony, but it definitely picks up in the action. When the action's going on, it supports the gameplay, and I like that when a soundtrack is actually really well done and good and energetic, that it makes me want to keep playing. So the soundtrack is good, and the sound design is very well done as well. But what is so good about this game is the graphics. The graphics in this game, I wouldn't say are mind-blowing, but are so crisp, so nice, so beautiful. There is just moments where I thought I was looking at maybe a picture or, maybe an artist's rendition or even like a Pixar film. It looked beautiful. The animations, and I'm not just talking about the cutscenes, I'm talking about the gameplay itself. The animations for Knack and all the other characters look really good. The designs, the amount of detail that's put into them, the environment itself, the shading, the shadows, especially when you get into the shadows for Knack. Knack is made up of a bunch of objects, especially later on when Knack is like really big and he has like frost stuff coming off his face. You'll see in the game if you play it. Like he's made up of like maybe like 5,000 particles at times, and you see all the shadows on the ground and stuff. It is truly phenomenal, and I have to say that like sometimes he's made out of like a bunch of different objects, and the frame rate doesn't chug at all. It's all very well done. It's beautiful to look at. It truly is. It's a great looking game. The animation, all that stuff, just beautiful, crisp, beautiful, vibrant. I loved it. It looked great. So there you go. Sound is great, but the graphics are beautiful. Now, the gameplay for Knack, sadly, is its downfall. Now, I don't think it's bad. I don't think the gameplay is bad, but it does get repetitive, especially since the game is very linear. You start off in a level, and sure, it does look beautiful, but it's go from this point to this point without much of anything for you to do besides just hit enemies. Like, there's not even that much platforming in the game. There is a couple instances where you're doing platforming, or maybe you'll do something different, or maybe you'll grow in size and now you're hitting people while you're big. And sure, those parts are definitely fun, and there is some variety, don't get me wrong. But there's so many times where it's just point A to point B, punch, punch, punch. Oh, that guy killed you. All right, start over. Punch, punch. Oh, you dodge a couple times. Maybe you mix it up a couple times with combos. For the most part, the combat itself isn't the deepest out there. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's not deep. It feels like an old school like Jack and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank game, except, well, actually more like Jack and Daxter, like the first one, where all you had was like attack where you like hit someone or you jump up and you hit someone like that. Like, it felt like that, except that came out in 2001, 2002. This is 2013. I'm expecting a little bit more gameplay variety. There is some, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of it where it's just you hitting enemies over and over again. And sure, some of them take more hits, or sometimes you have to hit them in the back or something. But for the most part, it's over and over again. You hit, you hit, you hit, go from point A to point B, hit, hit, hit. Oh, look, that's a beautiful cutscene. Okay, that was a little bit of fun. Some variety. Oh, back to hit, 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 point A to point B. So the gameplay itself, even though it does offer some nice moments, it does drag. So that's my main problem with Knack. Even though it's a fun story for the most part, the sound is really good and the graphics are beautiful, definitely next gen. I have to admit the gameplay definitely brought it down for me. But overall, I still liked Knack. Even though the gameplay brought it down, I still liked it at parts. Don't get me wrong. I still liked it. I will still give it a decent score for gameplay. But the overall package I really enjoyed. I think you should definitely rent it. It's not the best game out there, definitely not. Not the best launch title, but it is fun. And it's actually a good length too. I think it'll take you around like 8-9 hours to beat. So if you have a kid, if you have a PS4, go get them Knack. It's fun. Don't trust the reviews out there. A 55 on Metacritic, I don't think so. You know what? A 70, 75, I would agree with that. So there you go. Knack is a fun game. Definitely go check it out. Thank you and goodbye.